when I first started teaching, I was not very familiar with technology at all. I'd gone through high school and university with a pen and a paper, so I was pretty overwhelmed by all the options that there were. And because I had so much else to focus on, I guess I shied away from a lot of them. And then after a while I realized that I was kind of robbing my students of that experience of using different programs and different forms of technology to represent what they were learning, just because I was too scared of it or couldn't make the time to learn all these new programs. So around the same time I found out that some of the teachers were talking about making a technology team, which again sounded intimidating, but when I started talking to people about it, I found out that it was sort of an all ages, all abilities sort of thing. So I decided to put my name down, and what's the worst that could happen? And then the first meeting, I realized there was a lot of people like me who wanted to know what was out there, didn't know how to use it, but were eager to learn and couldn't necessarily go back to school to learn about these things. So it was a positive experience from the get-go, definitely. And I remember someone saying in the first meeting that their goal was just to learn and master one new program every semester. To set that goal, and then as long as you learned one, you couldn't fail. So I set my mind on learning blogging. That was something I'd never done. It seemed pretty easy, pretty basic, and I liked to write. So I started blogging every day after class, and it became a really easy way to stay in touch with parents, to let them know what was going on every day in class, what they could expect in the coming weeks and things like that. And that was another positive experience, because I was getting a lot of emails every day from parents asking if I could update them with what their children were doing. And you send enough of those emails and you want to find a streamlined way to do it pretty quickly. So blogging was an excellent format for that. Then I tried to take it a step further the next year, and I used a blog in my creative writing class, and it became a forum where students could post their writing and give feedback on each other's writings. And eventually, for our final project, they created writing portfolios which showcased their own talents as writers. They had to research other writers and post some information about them. And it became this really neat collaborative community online. And I can still go back to it today and look at the pieces that they submitted, and some are still using their blogs that they created and linked to mine. So that's been really rewarding for me. The biggest thing from the Catalyst team has just been the supportive environment, that we're at so many different levels, that there's sort of a mentor for everyone in the group. We have highly experienced people who are still just learning how a blog works, and we have new people joining all the time, and it's been very rewarding to have set my mind to something that used to scare me a lot, and to feel like I've now in some ways mastered it in the first steps, the simplest programs, I suppose. I'm Kelsey, and I'm a 21st century educator proud